Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of the Aqua People's podcast. Here, my guests and I discuss different aspects of swimming. My name is Kirill. I've been a swimmer for a long time, and it's one of the things that I know a lot about. Today's guest is a teammate and a role model, Brandon Adams. Brandon, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you? That's very nice of you to say.
Yeah, I mean, you are a role model. Seeing you in practice motivates. I'm
Good.
doing I'm doing not bad. Um, I wanted to go to the pool today, but I couldn't. Personal problems. Yeah, the pool opened. Are you excited for that?
I'm really excited for that. I can't swim at our pool, which sucks. Do you live in Dorval?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can swim at our pool. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, no, I guess I have to swim at DDO, which kind of sucks, but better than nothing.
Um, I stole this question from Brett Hawk, another really famous podcaster. How did you get into swimming?
I've been swimming for a long time. The summer system is pretty much where I started. Like I would think most people. Seems less so now, but you know, swam recreationally and then always wanted to swim in the winter and then eventually got to and then loved it. It's a great sport.
I agree. How long has it been?
I think this would have been like 11 seasons. This would have been 10 seasons.
10 seasons?
Yep.
That's crazy. Um, and how many clubs have you been with?
Three clubs. Beaconsfield for like 5 years. Point Claire for like half a season. And then I guess this would have been 4 years with DSC.
Mhm.
It's wild. It honestly feels like a year ago with DSC.
I don't know. I've been at DSC not so long, and it feels like a long time for me.
Really?
For me, yeah.
Where did you swim before DSC?
I was at Côte Saint-Luc.
CSL. Who's your coach?
His name was I still don't know his first name. His last name was we called him Monsieur Amadash.
I've heard people talk about him. Apparently, he was like a little crazy.
He was a little crazy. He was good though.
Okay, I think I've heard good things and bad things. People that got what he was all about, and people that had no idea. Yeah, they'd walk away from a race plan and just be like, "What just happened?"
No, I think when I was under him, I didn't I wasn't at the level of race plan. I would do the 50 and the
Right.
100. So there was no race plan, but he he didn't talk to you about what he wanted out of you. He would just make you do something if you weren't okay with that. Like when I swam at Côte Saint-Luc, I wasn't really that serious about swimming, and he still made me go to meets. I didn't know why. Like I would miss a meet, not thinking anything of it. Now I understand that it's a big deal. But before I would just make the finals, not show up to finals, and thinking, well, I
You're a
don't.
classic P1 swimmer. Yeah.
Uh, but
You're
yeah,
probably pretty annoying to people in that same group. To show up to finals and then, well, to make it to finals and not show up is there are a lot of people that don't make a P1 final.
well, someone takes my spot though, no? I guess
That's true.
no.
That's true.
I guess
Yeah, but they
if
only tell the first alternate like 5 minutes before the event starts.
that's true.
So,
I've replaced someone at the A final in Point Claire, and it
and it
was
was like,
great. It was crazy.
was it
They
like
call
two
you
minutes
and
before?
yeah, you're like preparing for another race, and then they call you for this one.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, I when I did that, I didn't know what it was all about, so I acted confused and cool about it, I guess.
Isn't that such a good feeling though? Getting called up because like not only do you there's no stress, right? Like you don't even know you're gonna swim it until 5 minutes before. And then a guy just doesn't show up and it's like, hey, you get his lane. Like it doesn't even matter where like I know that you're 11th seed, but it doesn't even matter. Like the guy was in second, so you get to swim like lane
Right.
four, right?
Right.
And you just hop up there, and especially if it's like a 50, you're like, ah, what am I supposed to do? I'm not even supposed to be here, right? Like you just bust it out.
I don't know. When it happened to me, the panic got to me really quick.
Right. You felt like I'm in the A final. I gotta do something good. Well, what race was it?
It was the 100 free.
100 free. 100 free is a tough race.
It is. But it got to me because I didn't know it was a thing, like that they just called out people. And it happened so quick. I was in the middle of a conversation, and next thing you know, I'm called, and it's not even sure that I'm swimming, but I'm still called. But then they're looking for another person, and they don't find that person, and they
You're second alternate.
yeah.
Wow. All right.
And that was a horrible race too. That was like one of the worst races I had.
That's funny. That's the difference in the way we think, I guess. Because to me, I'd be like, wow, that was like a freebie. That race doesn't even count. It wasn't even my race to have. That was someone else's race, and they just gave it to me. So for me, it would be no stress. It would just be like, it's Point Claire. It's like, I trained there for a while, so I guess it was a little bit different. Kind of the shine comes off it a little bit when you train.
Uh-huh.
I would look at it and just be like, awesome, a free attempt.
Did you train with like some really quick guys at Point Claire? I remember you telling a story.
I trained with one really really fast guy, and then well, no, I trained with a lot of fast people. They had a really good like crew that year. It was like 25, and at least like 16 of them had their seniors at the time. And this was before like they made the switch. Now they have like two seniors. They have like was like Canadian junior, and then like your actual like trials cut. This is back when it was all one thing and it was just trials. And they have like 16 people go to trials for like more than four events. They had a really nasty team, but most of them are mid distance IM because Point Claire and everyone has to
Right.
swim mid distance IM or like 800 free for some reason.
Right.
But Spencer Bougie was like the one guy that was like purebred sprinter, basically just him and Martin. And then so I got put in that group, obviously. And so it'd be like me, Spencer, Martin, some crazy equipment. Like, have you ever heard the Triton?
No idea.
It's like this little computer that they put on the back of your goggles, and it pairs with an iPad, and it's all like real time analytics of what you're doing in the water. So it gets all the splits. It didn't do a great job at that. It's like a motion sensor inside of it. But the
Uh-huh.
idea is that when you're in your drop position and then you go, it senses that drop and it starts the time as soon as you accelerate, and then it stops the time when you touch. But that was like one of the like 17 different analytics that this thing would do. Like it would get your heart rate, it would get like all this stuff, it would get like your stroke rate. Crazy.
Some,
We used it in one practice. It's like a $550 piece of tech, and we literally used it once.
wow.
Yeah.
I heard there's goggles like that.
Yeah, the Triton. Is that Triton?
No,
I don't know, but it's like a LED like readout.
yeah.
I don't know how much I trust it. I'd wanna try a pair before I bought them.
I don't think it's very
Accurate? Like I don't see how
hydrodynamic.
it could be.
I don't think it's very hydrodynamic.
Oh yeah, the like
It's a
giant.
big goggle.
They made it better now. Now it's just more like vanquishers. But I don't like training in a goggle like that at any time. Like I always use speed sockets all the time.
I don't even know what goggles I use, but no, I just count my strokes manually. And
Yeah, exactly. It's like I think that would be really good if you're doing open water,
oh,
right? Because it's got a time readout, which would be nice. Like I don't know if it does like strokes per minute or something, but I think that would be super useful if you're doing like a 5K,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I can see why.
But I didn't really answer your question because yeah, I did train with one guy who still is super fast, Spencer Bougie, and he made the short list for trials, but I don't think they're gonna have trials. So
Really?
yeah, I don't see it happening. I also don't think the Olympics is gonna happen, unfortunately.
It is very
Just think about the idea, Krill. It's the stupidest idea they could possibly have, right? Let's bring everyone from all over the world and let's put them all in one place.
I mean, they did that with ISL and it
But
worked.
ISL is like a lot more like controllable, I would say. They're all controlled environments, right? It's not like an entire city. Like, because like, you're gonna tell them that they have to like quarantine, they have to stay in their place, and like it's not gonna happen. They're gonna get together. Like
Yeah.
half of the Olympics is like a giant party, right? Even like trials. The day after trials, that Sunday night, everyone goes out.
Hmm. I guess. But yeah, I'm also having doubts about the Olympics happening.
It just doesn't seem likely. It just doesn't seem smart, and especially it doesn't seem. Also, apparently Canada like is making a thing about this whole like human rights issue in that part of the world. I don't know enough about it, but they said like they wouldn't go based on like some human rights violation that they're doing over there.
In Japan?
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
That's weird.
Yeah, I could be getting that totally wrong, but I remember hearing something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Take a break here, girl.
Right. That's weird. Yeah,
That's a
we're
part.
back. We were talking about the Olympics not happening.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to talk to you about, I think it was the 50 fly that you said the age group record in.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember that race. I'm not the one to tell you about it because it was one of those races where I was behind the block. And honestly, I was so over it. I just had the most horrendous kind of 100 back you could have. I get on the block, I go up, and I push, and just boom, straight down. My feet just slip on the wall, completely give out, and just like not even an inch off the wall, like a centimeter off the wall, and I just kick up and I just go all the way down. And I have to like fly kick my way out of it, right? I was so bummed, and it was 50 fly. I wasn't feeling amazing. I was just like, I kind of want this to be over with, and there just kept being so many delays. To this day, I don't know what they were, but it was like 15 minutes we're behind the block, like behind the block, like I'm on the block. I'm warming up for 15 minutes. I was drenched in sweat, head to toe, every single muscle warmed up, and so warmed up, I just keep warming up, right? Like you don't want to sit down and stop because you're gonna get cold. And the whole time, I'm like, God, like this is just taking so long, and I was so mad, so over it. I get up on the block, and Mia Scarpaleggia, one of my teammates, had orchestrated all of Point Claire. I was swimming for Beaconsfield at the time. All of Point Claire to say like, "Let's go, Brandon" or something. I even have it on video, but it's like the worst video ever. But you can hear them. They say like, "Let's go, Brandon." I didn't hear any of it. I was on the block. I was so focused on finally doing this race, and I dive in, nothing, blackout, and I just have my hands on the wall. And I look up at the scoreboard, which is like above the boom, and I just hear Louis like screaming, like absolutely losing it. And I look up, and it was whatever it was, like 25-17 or something.
Wow.
And dude, I was the most shocked person there. And then, there's a great end of the story though, because as soon as that happens, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. Like I just beat a bunch of people way faster than me. Like there's this whole thing with age groups. It's always on the 23rd, right, of July. Sorry, no, it's always on the 25th of July. That's usually the
Right.
first there. It floats around there. My birthday's the 23rd, so I swim the whole year in my age group, and then I would go up an age group just the last 2 days. So I never won a gold. I always felt like kind of cheated about it. And so like I'm freaking out, right? I just won like my first gold. That was crazy. That was out of nowhere. I was in lane 9 or something. Completely unexpected. And this guy comes over and he's like, "You have to come with me right now." And I'm like, "Okay, well, let's do it." I go over and it's like the doping people. Like I don't remember what they're called in Canada, but like, our doping affiliate, and they're like, "You have to come here. Like I have to stay in your like site. Like you can't leave. You can't go get anything out of your bag. You got to come to the screening room after the medal ceremony." And I'll send you the picture. I have a picture with the P control guy, my coach, and me, and it's pretty good. It's me and Louis just like losing it, and he wanted the guy in the picture. It's pretty good. I just gone to the bathroom before. I was pretty nervous for that race, so I ended up having to stay 7 hours and wait because
Wow.
they won't give you like enough water to dilute the urine, and they're like really careful about that. So they don't want to give you too much water right away. And I was dry, like I was bone dry. I hadn't drank any water. This is like a back to back with my 100 back. So I was super dehydrated and we were just waiting around. We ended up waiting there for 7 hours. I got back at like to the hotel at like 12:30. And the whole time, Louis and I are laughing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It's interesting because my birthday is on the 28th. So
So you also no, so you're good.
yeah, so I'm technically
Don't get
like
screwed.
the best position guy to be at.
Absolutely. I was always jealous of guys that had August 1st birthdays because they'd be before the cut for age groups and before the cut for seniors. Because they used to do seniors at the end of July. It would always be like the 28th, 29th, 30th, or like the 31st. And so it was always the best birthday, August 1st.
Right. I've actually had one of those races where I also waited a good half an hour before my 50 fly too. And it wasn't a good race.
Did I see that race?
I don't know. Did you? It was in.
Camo?
No, it was at the Olympic Stadium.
The Olympic Stadium. Was it like fly?
It was 50 fly.
50 fly? I think I might have been there. Was that the meet when Chuck wasn't very happy?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
You might have been in the heat before me because they started the fastest heat first.
And they went reverse seating. That's definitely possible. What was this, like 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, was it like an age group meet? Like were there kids? I'm pretty sure I swam and coached at that meet, and it sucked. Like I didn't swim
remember.
well and I didn't coach well.
It might have been, that format where in the morning and at night it's the big guys.
Mixed finals. Right, is that what you're saying?
No, in the morning and at night it's like age group from 13, 14.
Yeah.
And between them it's the 11, 12s.
I think that's what it was. Cause I don't think I had many kids, but I had like a handful of them. And it was like their first meet. I think it was like an arena challenge meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I think it was like their first like, this is a big boy meet. Like, look how fast these guys are. Kind of like welcome to swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Except I hate having to swim when I coach. It's the worst, man. Yeah, I hate it. Like the team champs when we beat DDO, it sucked. It sucked so bad. I couldn't swim well and I couldn't coach well.
Karim told me, yeah, it's.
Oh yeah, Karim and I were in each other's arms. It was the worst, especially Karim with the little kids, like the little kids.
Yeah.
And like you have to leave them to go swim, or you have to leave them to go warm down. Yeah, it wasn't fun. But we won.
I'm lucky. For now, I'm lucky because I didn't have to coach at that meet, and it was a good meet, the DDO one.
Oh yeah, you like that meet?
I swam one of the best relay legs of my life.
True. That's true. We had a lot of really good relays. Your relay
the last medley relay.
Yeah, it was like You, Matthias.
No. It was Shandor, Ryan, me, and you.
Oh yeah. That was awesome.
And the thing was, Shandor basically won that relay because after the backstroke, he was 2 body lengths ahead of the next guy, and we
He
just had
killed
to.
that kid. I don't know who that was, but he murdered.
It was. He didn't even keep up with the girls.
And
It
like
was.
it was a powerful swim, but it wasn't like Shandor was like, like more technically proficient than the kid was. You know what I mean? Like he just muscled him out of it.
That's
His
true.
swimmer was just like boom, 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 boom. Like Shandor was just he was just ready to go.
Yeah.
Uh,
But still, even though Shandor was ahead, Ryan, I think, lost a bit of the lead,
yeah.
and I was racing the guy. I don't remember his name. The guy who went a 5,700 fly like 30 minutes before that.
Oh yeah. Xavier, I love that dude.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah.
and
That
I
was
was
so fast. That was so fast. I was in that race. I was racing him. I went like a 59. I was pretty pumped with that. Like, whoa, dude, 57.
did you go 59? I
Probably not.
remember
I probably went much slower. I probably went like 103. Like
because
it was
I
that
because I
bad of
beat
a
you in
race.
that because I beat you in the
Oh
100 fly.
shit, that's true.
I have the video.
That's true by like 2 seconds.
No, not 2 seconds, but I out touch you. And so I raced that Xavier and I outsplit him.
Damn. Good for you.
Yeah,
I like
one
that.
of the best.
I'd like it if that guy swam with us.
Yeah, I talked to him and he's a nice guy.
He's a really nice guy.
Um, and one last thing I wanted to ask you, was the pandemic an advantage or a disadvantage in terms of swimming?
I would say overall a disadvantage, but like I've figured out some of the advantages to it. Like I'm a lot more focused on like high intensity interval training, just like more of like a whole body approach, like kind of diagnosing like what will make me better when we get back in the water kind of thing. So
Hmm.
like a lot of like shoulder work, making sure like the shoulders are all supple and rotating the way they should be. So that's been really good. But like there's nothing like swimming, like I do like fly pole band stuff and it's pretty good. It's like 75% of the way there. It's just not swimming, and swimming is a lot more for me than just like my preferred form of exercise and cardio. It's like a meditative thing, and going to a meet is a whole thing. It's also my job, right? So like I really miss coaching. I miss coaching pretty much every day. Um, I feel like I've had those kids for a while, and Chuck has been really good about like having me move up with them. And now I feel like I'm losing a full year with them. So it's more than just like a season that goes by. It's more like, well, those kids are eventually going to get so old that I'm not going to be in that position to coach them, and I'll have wished that we could have done more. But other than that, I'm taking it pretty well. I'm pretty excited that pools are opening up. I'll probably go 3 or 4 times a week if I can. Do some sprints, feel better. I have a feeling that if when I get in the water now, I'll feel better than I did in October. And I felt pretty good in October.
When I got in 2 weeks ago at the film shooting, I actually felt not bad.
You looked great, I gotta say.
Really?
Like not just in the
Thank you.
water, but like physically, like you've been on your dry line, you can tell.
Yeah, and the guy I've talked to a week ago about also the pandemic, he told me that it allowed him to get way stronger. And I totally relate to that because before, well, yeah, doing dryland lifting dumbbells every day got me way stronger than before.
Absolutely.
Just
Ramsey needs to put on some muscle weight.
I think didn't
I'm
he
sure he
say he's
has.
like, didn't he say he's like on it? He's eating a lot.
Yeah, no, he said mostly positive things, right? Like he's going after it, and as he should. Like the guy with what does he go for 50 breast or was it 100 breast?
He goes, might be wrong, 109 100 breast
Yeah, something like that, right?
and 231 200.
And that's with like like DDO like and Ramsey will say this too. I don't know if he did, but like weight training, they're awful. They just like Mark doesn't believe in it. He doesn't believe in
Really?
it. He doesn't want to do it. And it's so obvious that that's what you have to do. And like especially for breaststroke, like look at Adam Peaty. That guy's
He's
a Mack
massive.
truck. That guy is all muscle. He's all muscle
That's
and maybe like 10% body fat. And
that's very true.
he's a dump truck, dude. He just pushes the water. It's amazing. So for me, like a big lanky guy like that who can go 109, put on some lean muscle, and you're gonna go like 103.
It depends on what he's gonna focus on, because the guy Chupkov,
Yeah.
he's not big. He's not really massive.
No, and I'm not saying you have to be giant. Like you don't have to be Caleb Dressel, where your pec is like this big. Like, but it definitely helps, and you definitely need some of it. I know
That's
a
true.
lot of skinny guys that were fast, but you got to pick your poison. Like you can only be fast and explosive in the 50 at so lean, like
Yeah.
there probably is if you do like a big collage of like swimmers, there probably is like a median like leanness to thinness to fatness ratio that's like ideal for every stroke and every whatever. But I just think it would help him. I think it would be easier for him to do, and even just a little bit more muscle would help him like immediately.
Well, if he listens to what we're saying, he'll
Yeah,
probably think about it.
now you'll know if he listens.
Yep. Uh, thank you for coming.
Hey,
It was
my pleasure,
really
man. It's a lot of fun.
it's really nice talking.
Yeah, I miss talking swimming with someone else.
All right, bye, man.
All right, take it easy.